Hare Krishna and welcome once again to the Sriman Narayaneeyam sessions. So today let's do chapter 23 of the Sriman Narayaneeyam. The poet Sri Melpattur Narayana Bhattatripad narrates three different stories here. The first one is about Daksha, not the first Daksha, that is the son of Brahma, the father of Sati Devi. This is the second Daksha about whom we learnt in chapter 19, the son of the Prachetas and Marusha. Okay. Now the second story is about King Chitraketu, and the third is about the 49 Maruts. Okay. And this chapter of the Sriman Narayaneeyam is a condensed version of chapters 4 to 18 of Canto 6 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. So we'll read the first shloka as usual and then do a quick summary. All right. प्राचेतसस्तु भगवन्न परो हि दक्षा त्वल्सेवनं व्यतितसर्गविवृद्धिकामा आविर्बभूवि तदालसदष्टबाहो तस्मै वरं दतितताञ्च वधूमसेक्नीम्. We know that this Sriman Narayaneeyam is in the form of a prayer. The poet is talking to Lord Guruvayurappan. Yeah. So here the poet starts by saying, O Lord of Guruvayur, Daksha, the son of the Prachetas, desirous of having progeny and multiplying the population, worshipped thee with hymns, and thou, being pleased with him, appeared with 8 resplendent arms before him, and the Lord gave him a boon, and also Askini as wife. Askini was the daughter of Prajapati Panchajana. Okay, now the couple Askini and Daksha had 11,000 sons. Daksha advises his sons to multiply the species by begetting progeny, but then all of them, due to the advice of Narada, they take to the path of devotion to attain liberation. Okay? And they all leave home and become mendicants. Now Daksha becomes very angry and he cursed Narada, saying that he would not have a fixed place of residence and would always be moving about from place to place. Okay, and now Narada, being a great devotee of the Lord, accepts the curse as a blessing, as it would prevent him from getting attached to any one place. After all, it is attachment that leads to bondage, right? So that is the quality of a devotee. Devotees see everything good everywhere. Okay, and then Daksha multiplies his species through his 60 daughters. They were all given in marriage to exalted personalities, and it was through them that the universe was filled with the different species of life, like animals, birds, aquatics, demons, demigods, human beings, etc., etc. Okay. Now one of his daughters, Aditi, was married to Kashyapa, and they had a son, Twashta, who was one of the 12 Adityas, and Twashta had a son named Vishwarupa. Okay. Once it so happened that Brihaspati, the guru, the priest of the Devas, abandoned them. He left them because of misconduct on the part of their king Indra. Okay, and Indra then repents for what he had done, and he goes in search of Brihaspati, but then he was not to be found. Now he, due to his disrespectful behavior to his guru, Indra lost all of his opulences, and then he was conquered by his enemies, the demons. Okay. Now the Devas, they go to Lord Brahma seeking advice, and Lord Brahma advises them to make Vishwarupa, the son of Twashta, the grandson of Aditi, the great grandson of Daksha, their priest, their guru, until Brihaspati returns. So Vishwarupa was made the guru of the Devas, and Vishwarupa teaches Indra the Narayana Kavacham prayers, chanting which Indra was able to defeat the Asuras and regain his kingdom, and he becomes victorious. The Narayana Kavacham prayers are found in chapter 8 of Canto 6 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. You can read it, it's a nice read. And Kavacham means what? Shield. So the Narayana Kavacham prayers protects one from all evil and confers all auspiciousness on those who read this, on those who chant this hymn. Okay. Now the next is the story of Chitraketu. Once upon a time, there was a king named Chitraketu who ruled over the kingdom of Shurasena. He had many wives but no children, and he was very sad about it. And once, by the grace of Angiras Muni, sage Angiras, he begets a son through his first wife, Kritadyuti. Okay, and he was very happy, and he used to spend most of his time with the son and Kritadyuti. Now, the other wives felt jealous of this, and they poisoned the little baby and killed him. Now, the king was in utter grief. He fainted, and Narada Muni and Angiras Muni come to the palace to console him, but they found that he could not be consoled. And Narada Muni then calls the soul back. He asked the soul to come, and the soul appears before them. And Narada Muni asked the soul to enter the body, re-enter the body, because his parents were in utter grief. They were overwhelmed by grief. Now the soul starts speaking. The soul says, I am a living entity, a part and parcel of the Lord. Okay, and I have been transmigrating through various bodies, through various species of life. Now tell me, in which life were these two people my parents? And then the soul imparts the science of transmigration of the soul to all the people who had assembled there. Now, hearing this, the king Chitraketu was dispelled of his delusion. You can read this in chapter 16 of Canto 6 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the knowledge imparted by the soul. Okay, so then he was relieved of his delusion, and the other wives, they apologized for what they had done. Okay, and then Chitraketu accepts mantras from Narada Muni, and he worships the Lord and in the form of Adishesha. And in 7 days, he gains he attains leadership of the Vidyadharas. Vidyadharas are heavenly beings, a group of heavenly beings, and he attains the leadership. He becomes the leader of the Vidyadharas in 7 days. But then he was not satisfied by that, and he continues with his worship and meditation, and the Lord finally appears before him and then imparts the knowledge of the self to Chitraketu. Now, this great devotee Chitraketu for many years wandered all over the world very happily without any attachment, singing the glories of the Lord and leading the Vidyadharas. One day, once while during his travels, he reaches Mount Kailas. There he saw Lord Shiva sitting in the midst of a group of sages with his consort Parvati Devi on his lap. Now, seeing this, Chitraketu laughs loudly. Parvati Devi gets very angry, but Shiva was undisturbed. He just smiles. Parvati Devi gets angry and he curses Chitraketu, saying that he would be born as a demon. Now, Chitraketu, being a devotee, he folds his hands and bows down before Mother Parvati and says, "O Mother, happiness and distress are awarded by the Devatas according to one's own past karmas." He does not ask any relief from the curse. Okay, and then later he was born as a demon, Vrutrasura. Okay, once during a battle, there was a battle between the Asuras and the Devas. Okay, and Vrutrasura led the Asuras, and Indra, the king of the Devas, led the Devas. Okay, now seeing the strength of the Devas, all the Asuras fled. They got scared and fled. And Vrutrasura single-handedly faced the Devas. Now, seeing this, even the Devas were surprised and scared of him. Okay, and Vrutrasura and Indra, they were fighting with each other face to face. And during the battle, Vrutrasura imparts the knowledge of the self. As the battle was going on, he imparts the knowledge of the self to Indra and removes the delusion of his enemy. Okay, now Indra was also very surprised seeing this. Okay, and this all happened because of his devotion in his previous life. Okay, and then after leaving this demon body, Chitraketu, Vrutrasura goes back to the abode of the Lord. Okay, so that is the story of Chitraketu, who became Vritrasura. Once, Diti, the wife of Kashyapa, approaches her husband to beget a son. She wanted a son who could kill Indra. Okay, she was angry at Indra because her two sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, were killed by Lord Vishnu to help Indra, and therefore she wanted to kill Indra. And Kashyapa Muni was not for it, but then seeing that she was very adamant, he advised her to observe a certain vow by which she could get such a son. But then he said that she should never deviate from that, even for a second. Okay, to which she agreed. Now Diti observes the vow as advised by Kashyapa, and she becomes pregnant. And during that time, unknowingly, for a few seconds, for a few minutes, for a short while, she deviates from this vow. Okay, and taking this opportunity, Indra enters her womb and cuts the embryo into 7 parts. And again, each part he cuts into another 7 parts. So, totally 7 into 7, the embryo was cut into 49 parts. And thus were born the 49 kinds of air known as the Maruts. Okay, and but because Diti observed these ritualistic ceremonies, these vows, all the sons became great Vaishnavas. And here the poet Bhattadri, Melpattur Narayana Bhattadri part, winds up this chapter saying, O Lord, even if a person worships thee with evil intentions, the end result will be good. Okay, and he prays to Lord Guruvayur, to that Lord who resides here in Guruvayur, I pray to please protect me. Okay, so that is about chapter 23. Now the next chapter 24 is about the story of Prahlada. We'll see that very soon. And in the meantime, I would request you all, as usual, to please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy these videos. Thank you for watching. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.